GCHQ, or Government Communications Headquarters, is the UK's signals, code breaking, ciphers, cybersecurity hub. It's kind of equivalent to the NSA in the US, but it's probably got a lot more tea. Every year, they release a Christmas card to try and get you interested in code breaking and to encourage lateral thinking and puzzle solving. Now, if you've not already attempted it, I'd like you to pause and give it a go. I've put a link in the description. Go. Now you're back and you've given up, shall we go through it? So there are 7 puzzles which link to the front of the card. Each puzzle is a place. Puzzle 1, nice and straightforward. The pictures go together, so we've got a buck, king, a ham, a pal, an ace. Put that all together, Buckingham Palace. So that's a nice, easy, straightforward start. Puzzle number 2 then, we've got some colours and then like 2 kind of other columns of words, and we're told that to work out what has happened when we remove a route, program, a safety guide, a character, a carrier and an award. For the route, we can have the yellow brick road. For the program, the Pink Panther show. For the safety guide, the Green Cross code. For our character, we can have Red Riding Hood. For the carrier, a brown paper bag. For the award, Blue Peter badge, something that I wish I had. And what that leaves is Blackpool Tower. So that gives us our second location. For the third puzzle then, we have to fill in the blanks. Trois, deux, un is 3, 2, 1 in French. You'll notice that the second one is missing IV, the Roman numeral for 4. And the next one I struggled with for a little bit until I realised that if I flipped it, I get me and do. If I'm following the notes progression, it'd have to be Ray. When I unflip that, I get ER. A little bit tricky, that one. The next line, you'll see that we've got a progression from Q to R, and then it will be S, G to H, and therefore I. So we put that together, that's SI. Q, W, E, R, you'll notice, are the first letters on a standard keyboard, which gives us QWERTY if we put in TY. Joan of Arc is a famous French hero. If I do the flipping trick again for the next line, you'll see that I can make Old MacDonald. So missing a Mac, when I reflip that, I get Cam. Next bit, if I put in BRI, I can finish the phrase Great Britain. And then finally, DGE completes the word knowledge. When I then stitch them all together, I get University of Cambridge, an excellent institution filled with lovely people. Fourth puzzle involves some kind of crossword clues, and then you're looking for the letters which they've got in common. So if I read across from the top, you'll notice that the Indian butter is Ghee, Lord Voldemort and Lord Asriel. Kick It Out is the organisation dealing with racism. A bassoon is the woodwind instrument with 7 letters. Going across, we've got denim for our material, grub as our slang for food in a pub, cha-cha-cha being our Latin dance, and the word style can succeed life, free and hair to give us lifestyle, freestyle and hairstyle. What we can then see then is if I look at the word denim and ghee, they've both got the letter E in it. So that can be written in the box. If I work my way across, I can put in the letters which are in common with all of those words. You'll notice that there are no letters in common between cha-cha-cha and Lord. So I've just marked that with a dot. I can then snake my way along and I'll see that I've made Edinburgh Castle. Puzzle 5 then simply involves us replacing the words in brackets with another word. So an American soldier is often referred to as a GI. A huge colony of insects would be ants. The basis for something is the cause, and a path is a way. Put that together, we've got Giant Causeway over in Northern Ireland. The next one's maybe a little bit tricky, so I found it a little bit easier to write the numbers 1 to 28. You'll notice that on the inside, the numbers 1 to 10 proceed nice and straightforward. The clue says to calculate how far off you were. Now, the first one, which is wrong, I suppose, is you've got the number 30 instead of the number 11. So that's 19 off. So what I've done is I've then written how far off I've been in the different colour. If I then put the letter of the alphabet that corresponds to, so for instance, the 19th letter of the alphabet, I have now created our next location, which is Stonehenge. And finally, puzzle 7. Puzzle 7 is a proper cipher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the alphabet. I'm going to write out all of the cipher text. The clue is in the question where it says perhaps reading the start of the substitution cipher will help you solve it. Now this works in two ways, as you'll see. So firstly, perhaps reading is given to us in all capitals in a way to suggest that the first two coded words are perhaps reading. So if I stick them in, I can then start to match up the rest of what I know. I then noticed that the word at the bottom looks a bit like message, so we can start to make educated guesses. As we move through, we unveil the final message, which is perhaps reading it, not ciphered, is primarily a leading indication to you solving this admittedly devious, initially unreadable message. Now that seems like a bit of a mouthful and doesn't seem to give us a place. But if we then remember, it said the start of the substitution cipher will help you solve it. If I look at the first letter of every word, I form Principality Stadium, the National Stadium of Wales in Cardiff. All of those places map on to the animals on the front of the card. If I look at the unicorn, which is Edinburgh Castle, you'll see that the unicorn has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. If I look at the first, second, third and fourth letter, I would get EDIN. Now, I think it would be a really good idea if GCHQ would have used the number of the puzzles to represent the order of the animals to then make the phrase. I don't think they did this. I might be missing something here. But either way, when we decode all those animals, we get the following sets of letters. If I take those lumps, the only phrase which we can make easily, which is the Christmas message, which is everyone at GCHQ over the festive period will be united in protecting the kingdom. So there you have it. That's our GCHQ Christmas message solved. There are a couple of Easter eggs though. You'll notice that the dots all around the map map onto Morse code. If I decode the Morse code, it says we wish you a Merry Christmas twice. Faintly in the background, you'll see binary code in sets of 8, an encoding system called ASCII. I couldn't be bothered to go and find all of them, but I can see easily along there the word seasons. So if you know the full decoded ASCII in the background, by all means pop it in the comments, but I'm going to suggest it's going to be something like seasons greetings or may your seasons be jolly. And also finally, you'll see that there's a half-eaten donut, and this is in the place of Cheltenham, which is where GCHQ is based. Their main building is nicknamed the Donut because it looks like a giant donut. There you have it. There's the GCHQ Christmas puzzle. I hope you had fun solving it, and it's nice to use it as an excuse to dust off the video equipment and think about making videos again. Have a great Christmas.